We interrupt our regular programming for this breaking news story. We take you now to New York City, where our field reporter Hollywood is speaking with a local resident. Holly?
Yes, I'm standing here with Professor Clement Seymour at his home in Western Manhattan. It appears a few nights ago the Moore family had a unique encounter that took place right in their own home on Houston Street. Professor, can you tell us what you witnessed?
Of course. Well, 'twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring.
Not even a mouse.
That's right, son, not even a mouse. And the stockings were hung by the chimney with care.
In hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be here.
These are two of my children, Benjamin and Margaret.
It's very nice to meet you. Did all your children witness this, Professor?
No, not all. Most of them slept through it. These are two of my light sleepers, so they are up at the first sound. Is that right, my dear? This is my wife.
It's very nice to meet you, Mrs. Moore. So your other children were asleep?
Yes, the children were nestled all snug in their beds. While visions of sugar plums danced in our heads.
Sugar plums?
Yes, I spent the past week baking, and the children have been eagerly waiting for Christmas Day. When it's our tradition to put out the plates of cookies, cakes, and other treats. In fact, I caught one of them trying to steal sugar plums that they did not know was looking.
Sorry.
Well, anyway, Mom in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap.
What happened then?
Then out on the lawn arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash.
That's when Ben and I woke up.
Were you frightened?
Nah, just curious.
The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below.
So even though it was nighttime, the moon reflected off the snow in such a way that you could see objects clearly?
That's right, it was beautiful.
Fascinating. Go on.
Then what to my wondering eyes did appear?
A miniature sleigh.
And a tiny reindeer.
Tiny reindeer?
Yeah, these reindeer weren't like the 350-pound caribou they have up north. These were very small. More like the size of a fawn.
That is small, and they were pulling a sleigh?
Yup, with a little driver so lively and quick.
We knew in a moment that he must be St. Nick.
More rapid than eagles, his reindeer they came.
He whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer, Vixen.
On Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, and Blitzen.
To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall.
Now that way, all.
What happened next?
Then up to the housetop his reindeers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys.
And St. Nicholas, too. And in the twinkle we heard on the roof the prancing and pulling off each little hoof.
As I drew my head in and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
Astonishing. What did he look like?
Well, he was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot. His clothes were tarnished with ashes and soot.
A bundle of toys he had flung on his back.
And he looked like a peddler just opened his pack. His eyes had like twinkled, his dimples how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose was like a cherry.
His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow.
And the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of his pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. Yes, like a wreath. Thank you, my dear.
He had a broad face and a little round belly.
That shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly.
He was chubby and plump.
A right jolly old elf.
And we laughed when we saw him in spite of
ourselves.
A wink of his eye.
A twist of his head.
Soon gave us to know we had nothing to dread.
That's a relief.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He filled all the stockings.
Then turned with a jerk.
And laying his finger aside of his nose.
And giving a nod.
Up the chimney he rose.
Wait, so he entered the room by going through the chimney, and then when he left, he went back up the chimney?
I know it sounds crazy,
the
but
house by going up the chimney?
I know it sounds crazy, but he used the chimney for both his entrance and his exit.
Okay, is that all?
No, not all. He sprang to his sleigh and gave his team a whistle. Away they all flew like the down of a thistle.
But we heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Fascinating. Well, there you have it, a remarkable story from a remarkable visit from a remarkable character. You must report that at this time authorities have yet to confirm this sighting, but Professor Clement Seymour and his family are unmoved. They are convinced they received a visit from none other, St. Nicholas himself, on Christmas Eve. I guess the rest of us will never know for sure. This has been Hollywood reporting from the home of Clement Seymour on the island of Manhattan in New York. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Holly. That was an interesting report. And now we return to our regularly scheduled program.